comes as there's a second push on Capitol Hill today to try and address that, to investigate those allegations at the Department of Justice and the FBI during the 2016 race, including both the Russian investigation and the Trump campaign and the Hillary email investigation. What can we expect? One lawmaker who signed that letter joins us now. He is New York Republican Long Island Congressman Lee Zeldin of the 1st District here in New York. Congressman Zeldin, there's a resolution. You got a lot in here. I mean, there is the Hillary email probe. How did the investigation into the server end? You've got the alleged FISA abuses, as well as how did the Mueller investigation start? What concerns you the most?
Well, as we could see throughout 12 pages of some of the highlights, there are countless and mounting evidence, countless cases where you see people at the highest levels of the DOJ and FBI allowing their personal biases to overwhelm their objectivity, their better judgment in performing their duties. There are a lot of people all throughout the ranks of the Justice Department who are patriotic Americans. They take their oath seriously, they do their jobs responsibly, they love our country and our rule of law. But as we saw with regards to the manner in which the Hillary Clinton email probe ended, the way that the Trump-Russia probe began, was continued, expanded, became a special counsel probe, as well as all the FISA abuse that took place in the process, there are many members of Congress and people watching the show all across America who have serious problems with that, especially as we're watching investigations into trying to prove that Donald Trump colluded with the Russians, even though there's no evidence of it. There's no evidence that Donald Trump committed a crime to be elected, yet we have all of this evidence of all this misconduct at the highest levels of the DOJ and FBI, and that's not being, not just are we not getting the transparency for it, but we're not getting the accountability for it. And that's why we have the press conference coming up and this resolution getting introduced today.
You know, someone who's speaking out about that is Sam Clovis. Clovis, you may recall, was a former Trump foreign affairs advisor and official with the administration. And man, oh man, he has tough words over these allegations. He calls the FBI actions dangerous and nefarious. He spoke with the WHO radio, Iowa's Simon Conway show. I want to play you a soundbite of Mr. Clovis, who believes his Fourth Amendment rights were violated by the very people who are sworn to uphold the Constitution of this country. Take a listen to Mr. Clovis.
So we've yet to see any indication of any probable cause associated with any criminal investigation and who, in fact, was the target. This, to me, appears to have been a deliberate effort, a deliberate and intentional effort on the part of the leadership of the FBI to create something that did not exist. And that is exactly what this looks like. And I think at the end of the day, that's what we're going to find out.
Do you concur with that, or do you think that the FBI was legitimately looking into potential Russian intrusion in the Trump campaign?
I completely agree with that clip you just played. And you had a weaponization of the tools provided to the Justice Department. I believe in equal scales of justice, regardless of your last name, regardless of your political affiliation, especially when you're at the highest levels of the DOJ and FBI. But it is clear as day. I mean, you just look at some of the text messages that have been released, some of the contradictions that have been provided with regards to testimony before Congress. The tarmac meeting that took place between A.G. Lynch and the former president, and then right after that, all of a sudden, email probe goes away. There are 12 pages worth of information inside of this resolution, and what my concern is that there was a weaponization of those tools that were entrusted to these people at the highest levels.
Your resolution will be introduced. You have a news conference within the half hour on this. Congressman Lee Zeldin of Long Island, New York. Thank you. Mr. Clovis, by the way, predicts that there will be hearings, congressional hearings on this. He says he believes that they will reveal bad behavior at the top of the Obama administration. That is Sam Clovis, who says that he did meet with that alleged informant. Congressman Zeldin, thank you.